Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Blue Collar Psychiatrist videos. I remind you, as always, that these videos are intended for the viewership of a general audience. No doctor-patient relationship is being established between the viewers and the presenter, meaning me. Should you have concerns about your mental health, I advise you to seek the services of a mental health professional for an evaluation in your area. Now that we've got past that, I'm going to go next to the title. It's called The Loyal Opposition. You say it's right, they say it's left. You say it's up, they say it's down. You say it's black, they say it's white. How many of you know a person, could be a friend, who is oppositional to things that don't even matter, who is constantly argumentative, who is constantly trying to correct you, who constantly thinks that they are the ones that have all the answers and that their opinions are better than yours? People like this are very difficult. Now, they may be friends. If they're just an acquaintance, it's not a big deal. But the problem comes in is where these people are friends of yours. And we understand that friends aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. Well, pretty close to perfect. I'm not perfect. And you're dealing with a friend who acts and behaves in this way, constantly correcting you or saying the opposite. It's almost as if they enjoy arguing. They seem to enjoy being oppositional. The problem is, after a while, this gets very tiring. So what are your choices? What do you do when you have a friend who is very oppositional, very difficult, because it can be very irritable? You prize the friendship, which may have been established years ago, but it becomes very irritable to you. And what do? You don't want to lose the friendship, but on the other hand, you have to let that person know you're not pleased with this behavior. I think the best thing to do is to come clean with the person. Now, you have to gauge. This is where subjectivity comes in. You have to know that person. And obviously, if they're your friend, then you know that person pretty well. You have to know where they're coming from. You have to know how sensitive they are, which is very important. And this will lead you to tell you how you're going to word your response to their behavior, the behavior which you find objectionable. And you might be able to say, Joe, if that's his name, Joe, you know, I really enjoy our friendship, but there's one little thing, as there always is with friends, that is a little bit irritating. And that is, it seems like you're correcting me or being opposite or oppositional to me on many things that we talk about. And it's getting a little tiring. Could you kind of monitor yourself on that? I would really appreciate it. I don't want to lose our friendship, but you know, you have to understand that it's difficult to be with somebody who's very oppositional all the time. I don't know how that person's going to take it. That's where your subjectivity comes in, knowing that person, knowing pretty well how that person will accept that. Obviously, the better you know the person and the less sensitive they are, the better the outcome will be. They'll take it, they'll understand it, and they'll cut it back. Your other option is to simply scale back the frequency with which you visit your friend. That's another thing. You might have to say that you were busy with a project or you can't do it right now, and cut back the number of visits that you have with that person. Only in the last resort would you want to discontinue a relationship that is otherwise a good one. Friends, especially good friends, are difficult to find. So I don't think you want to go in that direction of destroying the relationship. But yet you have to be satisfied within yourself that you have let this person know that you just don't appreciate being corrected all the time. Now, you're not claiming that you know everything and that you're always right. That's not what you're saying. You're just saying it's a particular habit that he or she has that is difficult for you to deal with. In fact, that person may be so used to that type of behavior of correcting people and being oppositional that they might not even be aware of it themselves. So therefore, you might be helping them in the sense of letting them reflect on it, in that they might think, gee, do I do this to everybody? And if it gives them some insight and they change that behavior, that's really the best outcome. Because now you've not only told them about your irritability with their behavior, but now they have taken that in and thought, you know what, maybe he's right. Maybe this is a bad habit that I need to change. And that's really the best outcome, because that's a win-win. So ladies and gentlemen, it's important to keep friends. Very important. We all need friends. We're all social people, especially in this day and age where we have been somewhat curtailed in our ability to mingle. It's important to keep our friends, but it's also important to keep your equanimity, to keep your sense of who you are. So the idea is to be truthful, but to do it in a tactful way. If you do this, and if you do it the right way, you might not only help yourself, but you might also give that friend some insight as to how his behavior is and how he's coming across to other people. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I remind you, drink! And drink abundantly from the fountain of life. See you next time!